Is keeping things as simple as possible always the best option? That's not rhetorical, I genuinely don't know the answer. Apparently this whole idea about simplicity being best came from a guy called Occam, who I guess had a razor which then told him that if you have two competing ideas to explain the same phenomenon, you should prefer the simpler one. Which I guess kinda makes sense, but this seems to have morphed into people always favouring simplicity over complexity, and I'm not sure that should be the case. Let me pose this problem to you. Say I have a playing board, and on this playing board I have this playing piece that has the number 2 on it. This 2 represents the piece's strength. The higher the number, the stronger the piece. And we'll call this number the piece's rank. Now what if I say that whenever another piece is in front of this one, that piece's rank goes up by 1. So if I have this number 7 piece and move it in front of my 2, its rank goes up by 1 to a rank of 8. This is simple enough, but think about what's really happening here. What is the mechanism behind this piece's rank changing? Either the number 2 has recognised that this number 7 has moved in front of it and overridden its rank to 8, or this number 7 has recognised that it's moved in front of a 2 and changed to rank 8 itself. Now this sounds like I'm trying to be deep just for the sake of being edgy, but this distinction about who's causing the rank to change will be important later on. Now let me duplicate this situation for our opponent. The red player now has the exact same setup as us, with their number 7 being boosted to a rank of 8 by the piece behind it. But here is where things get interesting. Let's flip over this red 2 so it's face down, and introduce the idea that whenever a piece is face down, it doesn't exist for us. More specifically, the face down piece is just an empty shell that represents something hidden, with that something being unknown to us, the blue player. And now that we don't know what this is, how do we know what rank the piece in front of it should be? After all, this face down object just represents an unknown piece. We don't actually know what it is. But we do know what piece is in front of it. This piece is face up and exists for us to see. And if the piece behind it is a 2, then the rank should be 8. But if it's not a 2, then the rank should be 7. So what do we do? Well, what we need is some sort of external system to tell us this piece's rank without telling us what piece is behind it. And in this example, we'd be told that this 7 actually has a rank of 8 because the piece behind it is a 2, even though we ourselves don't know what piece this actually is. Now, a sharp specimen like yourself might be thinking, well, given this piece's rank has increased to 8, then obviously the piece behind it is a 2. So why do we need to represent it as an empty shell if we know what it is? And yeah, in this scenario we would know for certain that this is a 2. But what if we had 2 hidden pieces behind our 7? If a 2 increases the rank of anything in front of it, stretching out to infinity, and we're told that this 7 actually has a rank of 8, we would know that one of these is a 2, but we wouldn't know which one. So we have this situation where our playing board has a mixture of known and unknown pieces. The known pieces are face up and can be influenced by unknown pieces that are face down. And because we do not know what these face down pieces are and whether they are influencing the face up pieces, we rely on some external system to tell us. Where this external system has complete information and knows what all the pieces are. So that's the problem and the solution. But now we must decide how this all works. How exactly are we told about each piece's rank? Because as the game is played, pieces will move and ranks will change. For example, when this current rank 8 piece moves 1 tile right, we need to be told whether its rank would change. And in this case it does change, since it would no longer be in front of the hidden 2. Equally, this hidden piece can move as well, and if it moves 1 tile right, it's now back behind the 7, boosting its rank to 8 again. So now comes my question about simplicity versus complexity, and my philosophical question to you about whether the piece being boosted is changing its own rank or its rank is being changed by something else. In my admittedly small mind, the simplest implementation of transmitting partial information to us is by having the piece manage its own state and control its own rank. So anytime the piece does anything, the external system will give us its full state. When the piece decides to move, we will be told which tile it is moving to and what its rank is, regardless of if it changes. You can think of this as the external system sending us a message with two bits of information: a coordinate representing the tile that the piece is moving to, and a number representing the piece's current rank. Now when we move this piece again away from the hidden 2, we'll be told the tile it lands at and its new rank, in this case 7. And if the hidden piece moves behind the 7 again, the external system will send us the rank 7 piece's state again, telling us its coordinate and its rank, which would now be 8. But is this simple solution really the best option? I'd argue it could be if there were no other conditions or constraints. But what if there was a cost for every bit of information the external system sent to us? If sending us a piece's coordinate cost, say, $1, and sending us its rank cost another $1, well then every time the opponent moved a piece that was revealed, it would cost $2, one for its new position and one for its rank. But notice here that the moves this piece is now making don't result in its rank changing, because there are no hidden 2s behind it. So really, if we wanted to reduce costs, which seems to be pretty popular right now, we'd be better off just sending the piece's new coordinates and forgetting about the rank, which isn't changing. But to do this, we'd have to ditch the simpler idea of a piece maintaining its own state and boosting its own rank. And instead, when a piece moves in front of a 2, it would be the 2 that triggers the piece's rank to increase, and the 2 that triggers the external system to notify us that the 7's rank has increased to an 8. This way, when the 7 is moving around normally with its rank unchanging, the external system wouldn't constantly be notifying us of its rank being 7, it would only be when the number 2 piece boosts the number 7 piece's rank that we would be notified. Of course, this isn't the only way to achieve this result. There are other ways you could split the information up and transmit it only when things change, but whichever way you did it, I think you'd be adding complexity versus the simpler system of just sending the full set of information anytime a piece moved, even if that meant sending unnecessary information. And while that information is currently just a coordinate and a rank, if you added more features like buffs, debuffs, and temporary effects, the simpler solution would have you sending all of this information each time. So what do you think? How would you handle a problem like this? Are the implementations I've talked about here utter garbage? Am I an absolute genius? Was this video completely pointless? Only you can truly know the answer to that. So feel free to let me know in the comments below.